Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy New Year from 118 Sets Shadow. And what a new year it's going to be. With today's Market Watch, we're going to start off with taking a look at what's upcoming for new products that Bushiroad's coming up with for the next few months. So, first up in January, we've got the set 4 of Lyrical Monasterio, which is the Halloween themed set. Then after that, we're going to get our next set of Stride deck sets for Luard and Shiranui by the end of February. Then we've got the Triple Drive booster set that's coming in March, followed by April, which is going to bring us Vanguard Z, which will have trial decks coming in April, and then around May, we're going to get our first booster pack of the series, Faded Clash. And on top of that, in May, we are also going to be getting Token Rambu Online 2023. Even though it's going to be 2024. How late. But we are getting that set of Token Rambu as well, so for all of you who played the deck from the original set, you're getting your new support coming up. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and start taking a look at some items for today's Market Watch. First one, it's a card that I probably should have been covering a lot more often, but haven't, in regards to Dredjeweled, but it's Soul Funeral Dragon Nocturcio. And this card is currently one of those new Grade 3 Stride cards that you can pick up from set 13, where if you discard it for Stride, you can draw a card, and you also get to use it when writing a Grade 3 from the Ride deck. But right now, this card's triple rare is $13 base, and market price is right around that value. It has 13 listings overall, and it also has 17 listings on its FFR, and starting at about $51. So quite a few listings on that front, but this card overall is quite strong for its stride, for being a stride for its own skill. You do need to have a grade 4 in your hand to take it, or not in your hand, but you also may need a grade 4 on the board to take advantage of its effect. But the fact that it draws you cards and gives you additional soul is quite a power pack, and it's a 15k shield on top of that, just like the other ones for each other nation. Looking a bit at full blast support, Bard of Brave Instrument Corono is now a $2 card, 26 listings on its double rare. Market price is more like $2.50. And if you want the FR, $4 to start off with 13 listings, and the market price is $5.50. So a difference of effectively the double rare is half the price of the FR right now, which is fair to say the least. Then you've got Witch of Extinguishment Vergosa, which is also under $2 right now. $164 is the base price, and the market price is $2. But this one's FR is significantly more expensive at $11.50, and the market price is $13.66. Which is interesting given that this one has such a huge difference in value gap versus Corono right now, which only has about a $2 gap overall for each one. And that's odd. Both of these are definitely very good cards to play for Full Blast. I'd actually say they're necessary, given that you'll want to get to your Revel forms as quickly as possible. But for this one to have such a big gain in comparison, it's just weird to see. We've got a lot of cards to talk about for Festival Collection. So to start off, does anyone remember when I was talking about how Evergreen Transfer had to be watched? Well, I would say you still want to keep watching it, given that its base price is now $6.50. And you can see that it's been taking a increase throughout the last few months. I also mentioned last time that it's consolidated. There are only 5 listings right now, and despite the fact that this card does not sell too heavily, or at least it wasn't before, let's see how well it's been selling. Oh, it's been selling daily, just not too many times, mostly just 1 or 2 copies, given it is a Regulus piece card. But now it's $6.50 base and keeps on going up. Last time when I covered it, it was around $5 with a lot of quantities. But like I said, because most of the quantities are consolidated amongst a few sellers, there's a lot more power on the sellers to slowly keep increasing the prices. And there is a deck coming for Lyrical Monasterio that is very likely to continue to play this card as a staple tech one of, and I think a good amount of players know what I'm referring to. I can't remember her name, but she is the character with the paper bag on top of her head. Felty Rosa. I want to point out that the triple rare from Festival Collection, Rondo of Plinuline, or Lune, I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce that right now. It's down on listings. Four listings left, starting at $10, and the market price on this is about $6.50. On top of that, the FFR is also at 4 listings, and it's $140 right now with a market price of $122.69. And if we look at history of the sales on the triple rare, it's been bought a little more consistently, and more recently, it's been bought at $8 to $9, and it's running out. I mean, this deck is pretty scary. I've had to fight against it a few times, and it is a scary deck to fight against. So definitely be aware that this is up. Pay attention to any of the other support that comes out of Felty Rosa as well, as if Felty Rosa gets more popular, you're likely to see more of the support also continue to go up in value. Another trigger to talk about from the same festival booster is the Cater critical trigger, Knight of Orderly Bow Livarch. It's got 4 listings left. It's down in value from its old market price, which was closer to $150, but it's $130 right now. However, low listings on this card are now $120 and $150. So basically it's $1 plus, and then you've got one seller consolidating a lot of copies but has a $5 shipping tag. So yeah, this one is also basically off the market at this point if you wanted to pick it up for just $1. And Forbidal Surrogate is again bought out to the point of $69.69 to start off with, and then $80 for the final price among 3 listings. This card is a consistent sell in the $50 range, so it'll sell every so often in the 60s. And as we continue to get to newer support cards, I would imagine it'll just stay up there and possibly go up a little higher, given that there's still no reprint for this card, and there isn't likely going to be for some time, now that the Triple Drive booster is coming out in March. But the big gain here is Idiosparo. The blue overtrigger has been bought out to the point of $60, with only 2 listings left, and the other listing is $75. To think that this trigger started around 5, then 10 more consistently, then it just shot up into the 20s and 30s, and now it's all the way up to 60. And it has been getting bought for over $40 recently. Yeah, so if you can wait, it is getting reprinted as an over RR in the new Z set, so you'll have a chance to pick it up cheaper when that comes out. I also want to point out that SP copies of Roroa's Ride line are seeing low quantities and buyouts. The Grade 1, Awakening from Slumber, only has 1 listing at $41.25. The Grade 0's at $125, and yes, you do need it for the Ride line to actually use the Grade 1. And the Grade 2 is still $24, but it's only got 2 listings left, so if you need that, well, you might want to pick it up now in case it gets bought out later, given that this Ride line is played with Leonlorn. The Grade 3 is still $56, but you don't need the Grade 3 for Leonorn, obviously, so if you want to play Roroa, I think that's still a little expensive. Fountain of Knowledge Eva went down in price. Now we've got copies at about $4 to start off with, and quite a few copies around the $4, $5 range now. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because the next card, Knight of Blackness Obscured, is not really dropping that far in value. This card is still a $13 card and has been selling for $12 plus more recently. So it's interesting to see, given that Fountain of Knowledge Eva is dropping very heavily, but Obscured is still holding value. It's just interesting to see. Planar Prevent Dragon. I wanted to point this one out because I noticed that the Set 1 version, the rare is down to 8 listings and is $4 right now. The Holo Foil is a little bit cheaper on its base listing, but the market price is barely any higher, and it has 10 listings. So they're about even right now. In that case, if you have the opportunity, it's probably better to pick up the Holo Foil. But then the special reprint from the Festival Booster is also a Holo Foil and is about the same price with only 3 listings. The difference? The Holo Foil from the special reprint has the flavor text, while the Holo Foil from the first set does not have flavor text. And if you want the SP, it's $19 to start off with, 15 listings, so still quite available. But do keep in mind that all of these Perfect Guards will get reprinted in May, or I should say they're getting new prints in May. So if you can wait on this one as well, it's better just to wait. Trickstar. I want to point out the monochrome versions real quick, given their current pricing and current listings. The base one has only 5 listings starting at $5, and the market price is $2.85. And the foil version is at $14.44 to start, market price is $13.78, and 6 listings on that front. So we're a little short on listings for both of those in comparison to a lot of other variants of promo Trickstars. Even the Bushiroad on the Road version and the Hot Stamp, like, congratulations one. The DSR has 5 listings left, but the monochromes, I pay attention to those because that has some hidden value to consider there. We got some new trigger promos that are coming up this January, and we got an early release of them in some stores. The Yume no Keshos, and we got one crit and a heal. The crit is Rose, which currently has a number of listings starting from $8 all the way up to $25, and then we've got Poppy, which is the heal trigger starting at $4.50 and moving its way up to $25 as well. Now, the thing about these promos is that they don't come from packs. As long as you participate in a tournament, you should get one or both of them. So I wouldn't say there's anything to worry about in terms of quantities of these. I'm sure these will go down to dollars, if not change eventually. But they are crits and heals. They're also generic, so you can use them with any nation, so they might at least hold the $1, $2 valuation. Rosarium Fairy's down in price. Now we've got listings back around the $9, $10 mark as opposed to the $13, $15 that they were for a little while. I mean, I don't think they'll go down much further given that Leonorn is still a force to be contended with until we get to the Stride deck sets. Then we'll probably see a fair change. But then we've also got Bastion Prime, and this one has been dropping off in value now that Bastion's not seeing as much play. Although it's still holding a lot of value. $18 has been the sell point, and $17's the low price point right now, but there's only one copy. It keeps holding a lot of value in the $20 range, but more or less it's just on its way down. If you want the SP of Aura Battle Princess Suppressed Gleamer, that's really far down in price now, and nobody's bought this thing since October. $5, $6, so for those of you trying to SP out Prison stuff is really going back down in value after Security Upgraders hype just kinda disappeared. Then we've got Dragonic Overlord. I talked about how this card just got a random buyout a while back for the SP from Set 2, and that buyout has not seen any new sales. The last sale was back at the beginning of November for $80, and now listings are as low as $31 and as high as $40 right now. And I don't anticipate this card to make any rebounds unless it's just another crazy reason which I don't understand. I don't even understand why it got bought out before. It did not make sense. So there is that. And to wrap up today's Market Watch is Dragonic Overlord The End. Mainly for sentimental reasons, as I am recording this on New Year's Eve, which also I posted on Instagram today how or I guess it's going to be yesterday by the time this recording goes up. But I did not get to go out on New Year's Eve last year. All my plans fell through, and then I cracked open a box of Set 5 that had just come in for that day, and I pulled this in the God pack that it comes in. It was, I mean, the irony is not lost on me that I pulled the end at the end of the year. I just had to repost it. It's just funny. But in any case, market watch wise, this card has been seeing a decrease in value, and now you can pick up copies at $189, $190 before it goes back up into the $200 range. It never has that many quantities on the market and barely ever sells, but you can pick it up for under $200 more easily now. And going forward, that's probably going to be the case too, until it becomes more of a nostalgia collector item. Thank you guys for watching, as this is technically me doing this at the very end of the year, but it's going to be the first market watch of the new year. So I hope you enjoyed, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And welcome to the new year, and I look forward to a great new year of more market watches.